Good morning, everyone. All my dear PGs, we are back with one another interesting topic, that is clinical governance. Now, what is clinical governance? Clinical governance is a systematic approach to maintain and improve the quality of patient care within the National Health Service Scheme. This is basically used in UK. Now, it can be used, and the knowledge of this is very important, and it can be used in every country. So as the quality of patient care is improved. So basically it is focused to improve the patient care. Now, what are the 7 pillars of clinical governance? It's important to know the 7 pillars because cycles of controlling, monitoring and improving through 7 pillars ensures a higher quality of care for patients. Now, what are those 7 pillars? Number 1 is patient and public involvement. So this can be obtained by involving patient and their caregivers like third parties, just insurance company, their patient party in decision making, including policy and planning of their treatment. Another pillar is clinical effectiveness. That is whether we are doing right thing at the right time in the right place with right results, and this is basically to use evidence-based medicine in clinical practice. So even if there are a lot of treatment, which is the best, which is the cost inefficient, cost and safety, we have to consider all those and provide the best treatment to the patient. Third is clinical audit. Audit is defined as a systematic and critical analysis of the quality of medical care. So suppose you set a standard and then you see the things and whether the things are being done at rightly or not, and if it is not rightly done, then you need to improve the care. Another is risk management. Now, risk management, practice of this risk management minimizes risk to the patient care. Now, identifying their problems, learning from previous issues, reporting near misses and mortality cases will definitely minimize risk to the patient care. An organized effort to identify, assess and reduce appropriate risk to patient, visitors, staff and organizational assets are the main stay of the risk management. Fifth is staffing and workforce management. To effectively give the high quality care, we need to have efficient, skilled staffs. And for that, we need to assess if the staff is suitable for work, and those who have underperformance can be empowered. Now, education, training and continual professional development by having degrees, diplomas, attending webinars, seminars, conference, so they are updated in their knowledge. So, health and health providers need continuous professional development program. It is vital also to know that the patient have the knowledge and skills. They need to do a good job. Means staff should be empowered with adequate knowledge and skills, and they should be given a lot of opportunities to make their knowledge and skill updated. Now, use of information technology to improve the patient care. Information technology is very important, and all the data of the patient should be confidential and updated, and this data should be able to be retrieved when needed in case of conflict or risk. Thank you so much. This was a very short presentation. I hope it improves your knowledge.